Hi, it's Mike Spizzato, Carolina Realty Advisors. Today it's March 6th, and I wanted to give an update overall of what's going on with the real estate market in the greater Charlotte area. What we're seeing right now is some anticipation around interest rates. Rates are currently around 6.75, 6.5, somewhere in that general area. And there's some people on the fence that are thinking that they're hoping that we're going to go back to what they were years ago, like 4%, which I don't think that's going to happen. If we're lucky, maybe later this year we'll get down close to 6. But there are those that are rate sensitive and they're kind of sitting on the fence and they're like, oh, if I wait, maybe the rates will get better. But what's happening is the home values are kind of somewhat stagnant. If you're on the buying side, that means it's a benefit because there's not as many buyers out there trying to buy the inventory that's sitting there. So if a property hits the market and it's not priced right, doesn't show well, it could very well be sitting for 2 or 3 months. And when that happens, that's kind of the fault of the seller and the listing agent, but it's the benefit of the buyer. And so what we're seeing is the people who are really motivated, who need to buy or need to sell, they're coming out and putting their best foot forward. But I want to bring up a concept or a phrase that you might have heard, and that's called marry the asset, date the rate. What that means, if you don't know, is marrying the asset means lock in on the price of the home at a low price if you can. So if you're looking at a house that's been on the market maybe 2 or 3 months, obviously the seller's going to be thinking about potentially dropping the price. They're going to be a little bit more motivated to work with you. And that's partially because some of the people are waiting around because of rates. And so you can get a better deal on the asset. You could marry the asset at a cheaper strike price. And then in the future, as rates go down, you can always refinance. That's the marry the asset, date the rate. Now, for sellers, just a couple weeks ago, I listed a property up on Lake Norman, and we had an open house on Saturday. We had 15 people show up to the open house. I sold the property within 6 hours for almost full price to a cash buyer. So it's possible to sell your houses, but you gotta make sure you got a great marketing plan, a great agent knows what they're doing, and great pricing, or you could be on the market for a while. So overall, right now, there's a lot of buildup. If I had to say it, like, there's not really an exact phrase other than marry the asset and date the rate, but what we're seeing is a tremendous amount of people that are entering into the market, signing agreements like with our agents and with me to have us represent them, but then they're slowly entering into it. But there's more people coming out than probably any time in the last 4 years. So consumer confidence is definitely up and everybody's like just waiting for the bow to break. When that bow breaks though, and if rates do go down like we're all anticipating, it's no longer going to be marry the asset and date the rate because it's going to go back to multiple bids more than likely. And that's when it's like today, you could buy a property, let's say at 95% of the value, getting a 5% discount. By summer, you might be paying 105% of the value, meaning paying 5% over to get the same property. That is real. And that's what we're all thinking is going to be happening. None of us have a crystal ball, but it sure looks like it's lining up to be that way. So if you're thinking about buying, now is the time. You can get a good deal and not get into a multiple bid situation like we came out of a couple of years ago. If you're thinking about selling, make sure that you've got a great agent who knows what they're doing, who can get your property priced right, help you with staging, and put your best foot forward. And when you do that, you will sell it pretty quickly. Anyway, again, this is Mike Spizzato. I wanted to give you this March update. You can always reach out to me directly at 704-619-7070 with any questions about the market, anything that's going on. Just want to talk about real estate, just give me a call. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Okay. Thank you. Bye.